Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. There's no dub to talk about. I missed our last preseason game because I suck. There was reasons. I'm not going to get into the reasons. I missed it though. Turns out Foligno had a great game and then immediately got waived. I want to talk to you a little bit about who got waived and what that means for the team. I want to talk a little bit about who didn't get waived and what that means for the team. I want to talk a little bit about the opening night lineup, my best guess at it. And then I'm going to show you my fantasy team, which I'm probably going to put in the time slot below so you can just kind of, if you get bored with anything, you can just jump there and then laugh at me. It's not... You know what? I'm going to let you guys decide how it is. I'm going to let you guys decide. But first, let's talk a little bit about these waivers. Foligno, Riley, and Wagner are sent down on waivers. First thing. Just because they were waived does not mean any of them have been assigned to Providence and does not promise us any cap relief yet. All right? It doesn't. Okay? This situation is tricky. I don't understand all the cap ramifications, but for the most part, I think these guys all got waived hoping a team would just grab them. For those of you, second of all, for those of you who say, obviously Riley is the biggest shock here because he is a useful potential top four defenseman. He is the odd man out. Grzelcyk is better. There is concern that you lose him for nothing. But if you think the Bruins have not been shopping Riley for the past 3 months, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're not paying attention. They've been trying to move him. I have gotten multiple reports from people saying, this guy's on the way out. Like, people who are closer to the team than me, like, the feeling around the building was, yeah, this guy's probably the odd man out and get moved. But $3 million is $3 million. And at the end of the day, in such a cap-constrained year for a lot of teams, I assume the only offers they were getting were future considerations. So why not just send him down through waivers, which is the same thing if he gets claimed, and you immediately get $3 million off the books that you need to use, or he doesn't get claimed and you try to figure out the cap some other way. Same thing with Foligno. They checked him down there like, hey, maybe someone will grab him. Probably not. I don't know if any of these guys are actually going to get assigned. You hope that Foligno does. Wagner had a good camp. I'm kind of surprised here, but you would figure Wagner also gets sent down for good here too. Riley, if he clears, there's no way they actually assign him down there. I just find that very hard to believe. I just wanted to get that out of the way immediately, that it does not mean automatically they're in Providence and we're saving $1.2 million per player or whatever it was. I am surprised to see Foligno on the list there just because I didn't think they had the balls to do it. Take that as you will. I'm surprised to see Wagner over Nosek or Lauko, but again, they were very confident he wasn't getting grabbed, and Nosek's a more useful player when he's playing well, but Nosek had a terrible camp. Lauko, I'm really surprised by. The three guys that this is good news for, Lauko, Stanika, and Greer, all stayed on the team. They all needed waivers. They all had decent camps, I guess. Lauko being the worst of the three as far as their camp went. There are varying opinions on that. I did not think Lauko showed us a lot. I think the team's just really trying to give this guy a real chance before they, finally let him go. Hopefully he surprises us, but he likely won't be on the opening night roster. And healthy scratch, potential send down, I don't know. We're not sure what we're going to see from him. It's weird that they kept him. I think he would have cleared waivers just fine, honestly, with how he'd been playing. But certainly a shocking group for the waivers. I'm kind of chill with it, though. I'm glad that this team is taking it seriously. I was one of those people that McLaughlin going down was a bummer to me. I didn't understand it. I know that this cap, basically what it does is with him going down on an ELC that he's still on, or I'm not sure if it's technically an ELC or not, but with him going down, it basically has our cap as close to the threshold as possible, keeping Lauko basically. And what that means is when we put guys on the LTIR, the long-term injured reserve, during the season up to the trade deadline, you accrue cap space, and you accrue more of it because you sent McLaughlin down rather than Lauko. And by accruing cap space, I mean the trade deadline comes up and we can be above the cap by a certain amount after the deadline. That's a really basic way to put it, but that's the advantage it gives us. The disadvantage in my book is we're not icing the best bottom six we could. And that frustrates me, especially to start the season where we need every little advantage we can get. So I would love an honest interview with McLaughlin and see how he feels, see if he was surprised, but I don't think I'm really going to get that. What does that mean for opening night, though? This isn't my best guess. Hall, I think, will be ready. So I'll go Hall, Bergeron, DeBrus to start the top line. The reason Hall goes on the top line is because Zacha has looked good with Krejci and Pasternak. That's your second line. Frederick, Coyle, Smith. I think the coaching staff wants to see if they can get that chemistry back. I would assume that's still the starting point, even though Frederick hasn't exactly earned that third left wing spot. I do believe that they're going to try to force that issue. And then for your fourth line, my best guess, and I think me and Andrew actually agree on this, is Greer, Studnicka, and Nosek. Nosek being able to move into the center spot whenever he needs to as that left-handed face-off man that we do not have anywhere else. Defensively, Lindholm, Zaboral. I think Zaboral is going to get first crack on that right side. I am betting Grzelcyk is actually good for the opener because he's already skating in full contact as far as I can tell from reports. I think it'll be Grzelcyk Carlo. I think it'll be Forbort Strawman with Clifton as the odd man out. If Riley clears and Grzelcyk's not ready, just swap those two. Outside of that, Riley and Clifton will be your odd guys. Strawman should get a contract from what he's shown us. Swayman will be in net for game one. In my opinion, he had the better camp against better opposition. I thought Olmark looked really good in spots, but didn't have a lot of games against real tough players. And then the final game kind of fell apart. I didn't get to watch it, so I can't tell you how decent those scoring opportunities were. I heard there were a bunch of players in front of him that just weren't clearing stuff out the way you'd like. I don't know. I'm still going to lean Swayman as your game one starter. The real starter is going to change all year. If last year is any indication, that's what's going to happen. None of this really surprises me that much. Greer was a long shot for me when camp began, so that's nice to see. Lauko, I think he's there as an attaboy, and I really don't think anything else. I would have been shocked if he had made the team out of camp, which I guess I am, but I'm so in that camp of he's just not good enough that I don't think he's really part of the team. Does that make sense? They just didn't want to waive him and potentially lose him for nothing because, I mean, he has some sort of pedigree. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be on this team for very much longer, honestly. That's sad to say. But nothing else really surprises me all that much. Frederick's going to get bumped sooner or later from his spot. If Greer starts on that third left wing, I wouldn't be surprised. And then the defense is going to get a lot of switches. And I think that's what's so cool about our defense is that there's a lot of ability to swap them around. And we have so many puck movers in Lindholm, Grzelcyk, Strawman, and Riley, and even Clifton to a certain degree. And then you've got your good stay-at-home guys in Forbort and Carlo. And Zaboral is kind of an intermediate guy on both of those. Can play really well defensively, can play a little heavy at times, but has a really nice outlet pass. I really like how versatile our defense should be. I know this is kind of a quick, weird, just chatting video, but here's the part where I show you my fantasy team. Let me bring up my fantasy team here, too. Okay, I'll just put it on the screen somewhere, one of these sides. I picked 11th out of a 12-team league. So give me that little excuse right there real quick. I accidentally went too heavy on the Jets, especially defensively. I did not think about it when I took Pioink in like the 17th round or whenever I took him. I did not focus on defense. I knew I wanted Hedman early on, and I knew I wanted Burns. That was a steal for me, honestly. Like, taking him, that had to be 7th or 8th round. I was really happy to get him, even though he was ranked way lower, but I think that's going to be a steal in the long run. Not in love with my centers, but there's potential there, and I think Matt Murray, who was my Mr. irrelevant. I think he's actually going to be, if he wins that job in Toronto, which I think he has a good shot at doing, he should rack up a lot of points. We're in a goalie-heavy league where these guys are really important. Wins are worth a little bit more. Saves are worth a little bit more. I think Matt Murray behind that Toronto team is still going to win a lot of games. That might help me. It is a daily update, too, so I can swap these guys around however I see fit. I don't think Nichushkin's going to stay on the bench very often. I don't think Burakovsky is either. But I do like my wings. I think Boldy is going to have a really big year. So I don't love the team. Drafted 11th, I think I did a pretty decent job, especially with my late round picks. It was a tough one, though. There was a lot of moments where I really thought I had a guy locked up and he'd go one before me or two before me. Classic, right? I'm going to give weekly fantasy updates on how the team's doing just for shits and gigs, because people can always I'll put them at the end of videos so people can just click away from them if they don't care. But I think it'll be kind of a fun thing to do this year. Other than that, guys, Wednesday night, season opener. I'm pumped. Are you pumped? I'm pumped. I have a good feeling about this season. God, I shouldn't have said that out loud. Go Bees!